Good morning, folks. Day 2, jumping in the boat with Ed Gettys. Stayed with him last night. More of the same. We're gonna run around, try to find a bunch of brush piles. Man, it's another beautiful morning. Temperatures are a little bit cooler. A lot of people out here fishing. We're at the state park. This is where the tournament's going out of. We had good breakfast there at the barbecue place by Andy's. So we're definitely stuffed, ready to go burn some energy, make a few casts, and enjoy God's great creation and this country and the freedom we have to go fishing. So let's see if we can catch a few fish. Man, I love fishing. Even if I don't catch anything, I like to fish. Walking down the hill, it's so beautiful right here. It is so beautiful. We've got same conditions, actually different conditions than yesterday. Yesterday we had a cloud cover. Today it's like straight up bluebird skies. Doesn't look like there's much wind out there, and I think the next 3 or 4 days is supposed to be just bluebird skies. So the weather's going to be consistent. If a person can figure out how to catch them now, I don't think it would change a whole lot. They are pulling a lot of current to the system, but it looks like they're going to continue to pull current through the system. We had that hurricane came through the, not this area exactly, but just kind of saturated the whole southeast section of the United States. So there's a lot of water moving through the river systems right now. So they're dumping, pulling, rearranging a bunch of water. So that's why we got so much current. Just hoping that we don't get a bunch of dirty water into the system, because right now it's still pretty clear, at least as you get down here towards the state park. And hopefully that stuff doesn't wash down, because that's going to be a factor that could affect the fishing. So Ed's down here waiting with his little safari hat on, and we're going to go catch some fish. Or we're going to go look. We're going to go do some looking for sure. Don't want to win practice. All right, I'm out here in a boat with Kentucky Lake legend Ed Gettys. What's the plan today, Ed? You got him figured out. You're dialed in. You're holding out on me.
I'm holding out on myself, because it's been slow. I've caught a few quality, but not much quantity.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna go try a bunch of stuff. Try a little topwater, chatterbait on the bank, and then we're probably gonna go out and live scope, look at offshore stuff.
Yeah, just look at some bars and stumps and things like that.
Yep, see what we can find.
That's really all you can do. Well, you think the what's your thoughts about the dirty water coming through the system?
I think there's a chance it eventually gets here, but so far it's held up. Maybe it'll hold up. Every lake was clear except where it flooded, so it's having to push clear water from a long distance. So I don't know if it'll actually muddy or not. We'll just have to wait and see.
So how long do you think, if mud comes in where it's dumping in, how long do you think it would take for it to get all the way down here? Is that like a day, or could it take 3, 4, 5 days?
Take several days.
Several days.
Like if it was moving 10 miles an hour, and you're talking about probably 500,000 miles. Yeah. I guess. I don't know how far it is, but it's about a 7 or 8 hour drive from here to there, so it's a long ways.
So probably safe for the tournament, I would say.
It may never make it.
Yeah.
I mean, on some lakes that muddy on one end, it never muddies the lower end. And it's on a bigger scale. So it may not make it, but it could.
It's another mystery in fishing, isn't it?
It's a wild card in this tournament. We could be planning on fishing in the clear water in the main river, and we wake up and it'd be a mud hole.
Right.
But it might not. It hadn't yet. It still looks good right now.
All right, man, we're gonna make a little boat run, wake up. We had a good breakfast, got plenty of coffee in the system. We're gonna go out there and have fun. We'll have plenty of conversations out on the water. Oh, I know, they never quit biting them. Yeah, they never quit biting them.
They don't have to see them broke. Somebody on something else. Been down here much since I had them. catching one?
Yeah, I think it's a white bass though. Yep.
Big old giant.
He ate it.
At least it's a fish.
Yeah, there you go. First fish in the morning.
Caught a bunch of them throwing a chatterbait like that right there, just outside.
Uh-huh.
But it's usually when they got a lot of bait on. You know, most of them BFLs, about 25 people catch 80% of the fish on the pro side. And right now, it's all the scopers that are dominating.
Mm-hmm.
The co-owner side, you're almost better off if you don't draw the scoper. Although, I don't think I finished, but I drew that guy up here, and I was throwing spinnerbait on brush in the fall. And he just took a spinnerbait himself, but instead of throwing it to brush, he throwed it out in the wide open and just reeled it slow. He caught a 5, 2 2.5s, and lost 2 about 3 apiece.
Huh.
He was in 5th place with those 3. Would have been in 1st. And he caught all of them on open water.
Huh.
Unless there was something out there. One place he had like 3, and I scanned it just to see if there was something out there. And there wasn't. It was just a little, it was on a point. And he was just really throwing on the side of the point. If the water was up full, I bet that'd be a good topwater hole right there. Might be anyway. I guess it hurts to chunk one out there. I know I ain't caught crap on them. I said I'm not going to do that.
One of my favorite things about fishing, especially in a BFL format, is getting to meet new people and hang out with them for the day. I just met Ed like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Thanks to Gary Singleton, who introduced us to each other, and we ended up staying in the same house together. I'd fished with Brock Beal on day 1. I really didn't have anybody to fish with on day 2. And Tuesday night, after day 1 of practice, which if you haven't seen that day 1 practice video, go check it out. Ed and I were staying there, and I asked Ed if he was fishing with anybody the next day, and he said no, and he invited me in the boat. And in this video, you're going to hear some conversations that we have, and that's the camaraderie, just being out on the lake, just 2 dudes fishing is, I love it. I love to listen to people tell stories about just the experiences they've had in life. It's what drives me to fish. It's one of the things that drives me to fish, and I never undervalue those stories. It's just unbelievable just to hear all the stories that Ed has. In fact, we did a live stream recently. If you want to hear more about a lot of the history that Ed has been involved in, do yourself a favor, check out that live stream. It's really good. Another fun thing that's getting ready to happen is Ed had been throwing, he'd been down there pre-fishing for several days, and he'd been throwing a topwater. I mean, he spent a lot of time throwing a topwater, never got a bite. Well, we're coming up on this point right here, and I just happened to see some shad flicker. It's a really long, shallow point. I mean, it's like a foot on the top, way out off the bank. But there's some shad, and he was just talking about how he had not got a topwater bite in several days, and he fires his little walking plug out there, and he catches a keeper.
It's a bait. Saw a bait to the right there.
Yeah, I see him. I was so there if I was knowing it was lucky.
Felt like a bite.
I've been waiting for the blow up all week. I'm still waiting.
There he was. You got him.
Talked him into it. Didn't he?
Yeah.
But he really did.
That's a keeper. Close.
I'd measure him. I'm not sure. He's close. He'd be right at me. He got a mouthful of darn hooks. Give me one of them. Oh.
Careful.
I don't want him to get out of my hand. Now he's all messed up. That was funny. I was sitting there saying, I'm waiting on my first bite. And he goes, bam!
Yep, it slurped it down.
He's rambunctious.
He ain't gonna bite tomorrow.
I ain't fishing for him anyway, unless I go out here and catch a 5-pounder. don't have a decent place to eat that I know of.
Off that pole, you called it.
You don't want that chatterbait.
A little shaky head.
I'll tell you that shaky head. If I were a coal angler,
There you go.
I'd be a master of shaky head.
Dang.
I got a problem.
It's interesting how they just use a pontoon for a dock.
Well, there's been a million of them caught at Gunnersville on this kind of stuff.
All the bridges. Yeah.
When that A-rig first came out and all that bait was on them bridges, they absolutely croaked them. And they were big ones.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 pounds.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
27, 28 pounds.
That was Paul Elias, I think, at one time.
See, when you went under the bridge at Gunnersville, you wouldn't be able to see the bottom. It had so much bait on it. There's some here, you see it. It's not that big.
Uh-oh, there's a bite. Little guy.
If you go out there and just catch 1 3 or 4 pounder, I'd come in here and fish. Just one. So if we caught one, I would assume there's some more somewhere.
Yeah. Get bit again?
I got him that time. He knocked him slack. Come back and got it. There's one of them with bass doing that.
That's a good one. Oh yeah. That's what you need. 5 of those.
Yep. Never fished that brush pile before. From the guys. 2.5.
Yeah, it's healthy.
Well, he knocked that thing slack and I jerked and I missed him and he come back and hit again.
Really? Just like those other ones, huh?
Those are bass. That one that hit so hard, he was a lot bigger.
So they're holding.
Except he won the 5 pounder, just didn't want it.
They're holding in this stretch for some reason. Finally got my hook in one. So I finally got the hook in one.
So you got one?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good keeper.
3.5, 4 pounder one.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, folks, midday update. Fishing's slow. You know, we're trying a bunch of different things. Ed's had a couple keepers. I just jumped off a pretty good one on a Carolina rig, but you know, not getting a lot of bites, and of course we're staying off the better stuff. Just doing a lot of scanning, doing a marking. The wind's really picked up. Water temps are 76 degrees, and you know, the visibility's good. I'd say it's probably 3 foot visibility. It's a nice pretty color. No mud inflow yet. I think we're good on that, but we're just poking around and keeping our baits wet. Ed, right there. What do you think so far about the day?
Well, it's been slow like every day this week's been, but you know, we've seen 1 good fish and 2 keepers. It's fishing really tough to me right now. Can't really figure out very many ways to catch them.
What do you think it's going to take to make it to day 3? How much weight on the boater side?
Probably mid-20s.
Mid-20s? Okay.
Well, where are they cutting it at?
12, they take 12.
12?
Top 12.
I'll say mid-20s.
Okay, so 25, 26, something like that?
Yeah.
12, 13 a day?
think so. You know, somebody may come in with a 23, 24 pound stringer.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be rare.
Make sure you don't hit that dock.
That wouldn't be too good.
No. And I think probably, 15 on the coast side, maybe make day 2 or day 3.
I think so.
Okay. So that's my goal. 7.5 a day, I think I'd be good. Maybe. We'll see. I got to catch one first.
Right.
We'll start with one, then we'll go from there. Not yet. It's full of crappie though.
You still on the same one?
No, I pulled up. You got a little cluster of them up here.
Yeah. I ain't never fished on this one he gave me.
They're right on the edge, the drop. They look good. It's full of crappies. Time to catch some fish now.
Get serious.
Get on up here.
What do they look like?
Oh, there's all crappie right here. You get over here to I was throwing at this pile right there.
Still looks like it's got a couple fish hide on it.
I threw at that fish and he got out of the way. Dropped it right on his noggin.
Didn't want no part of it.
No, he swam away and then came back right where he was at.
He croaked it. I'll take 5 of them.
Oh yeah.
He's over 3, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's a good solid fish. Might be 4.
Still, you've been in on the spinner bag.
Good fish.
3 3/4
Yeah.
probably.
It's a good one, chunky. I think you got a plan. Just
There's hope anyway.
yeah, just hitting enough of them.
To have hope.
One thing I'll tell you about Ed is he goes hard. I'd been running pretty hard myself all week, not getting a lot of sleep with this YouTube channel. You have a lot of late nights and the drive down and things like that. Well, I was kind of wanting to sleep in just a little bit in the morning, but Ed's rapping on my door before the sun comes up and he's ready to go fishing. And we ended up fishing as long as we can that day. So that's why he is so good, because he puts in the time just out there, sun up to sundown. That's what it takes to become a better fisherman, is dedication and strong work ethic. Story's phenomenal. I had a great day out there with Ed. So glad to have met him. And we covered a lot of different water. You know, Ed kind of had a pattern. He kind of had an idea of what he was going to do day 1 of the tournament. And we were just looking for pieces of cover. You know, he was doing a lot of fishing brush and things like that. He's throwing a spinnerbait. Yeah, spinnerbait still works. That's one of his strong suits for sure. I got to see, you know, how it works, and it was cool to watch him do his thing. We fished just a lot of new stuff. You know, he had some stuff that he was going to fish in the tournament, and there's no sense of fishing that and sore-mouthing the fish. So we were just kind of scanning, looking for new pieces of cover, and we ended up getting a few bites. You know, I think his whole plan was just to cover as many of those targets as possible, and just make as many casts as he could in an 8-hour period, and just kind of leave it out there on the water.
Looks like another little brush pile on the other side of it.
Kind of done. Let's see. All right, there you are. I went good boys past it. All right, got a good view of it. Yep. Definitely. It's hard to tell when the bait balls are really thick. But when you're going over it, that don't look the same as our tree did. You can tell that's.
It don't have any red in it.
It's a lot smaller too. It's all little bitty fish. These look good over there. And these are fresh because they weren't here. I've scanned this stuff over here more than once, and I found very little. If somebody's come over and put some out, there's probably some more. I'm gonna say this one's only been out a few weeks or months. You see that fish hit that thing?
You get him?
I got him. I'm gonna guess he's a catfish. It's kind of down in it. He's on.
What was your lucky spinnerbait? Was he that big that he was pulling you? Oh, he come out now.
It'll be a catfish.
Yeah, he's starting to roll a little bit.
Roly-poly.
Yep.
I had one. I was fishing a tournament by myself, and I thought out there one hit the thing, went, and it was doing all that junk, jerking and staying down and staying down and staying down and jerking around. I said, that's catfish. I got that sucker up the boat, and he was about 7.5 pounder, and that dang thing jumped
Largemouth?
right there. Yeah, come on. I reached back to get my net, and it hung on my life jacket.
Huh.
I've done this a lot.
You want these pliers?
Know the system here. He probably run that spinnerbait.
No, it looks good. Still.
Getting it out sometimes.
Oh yeah.
You know how hard they're hooked.
It's a pretty catfish. Perfect.
I've only done that about 100 times. That day I was telling you about that tournament, they were blowing the same direction, but it was about 25 or 30. Two waves coming down through here are unreal. Everybody back gone.
Yep.
They're tired of it, aren't they? I'd say the majority of them had all they wanted this place.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, based on them calling my buddy Mike, who only fished one BFL, I'd say a lot of them went home.
That's a wrap on day 2 of practice. We caught a few fish. I'm feeling okay about it. You know, I don't really know what is going to happen day 1 of the tournament, but I think I'm going to be just keeping my confidence baits in my hand, unless I draw somebody that's doing something really different. But that's going to be my confidence baits on the Tennessee River are a jig, a shaky head, and a Carolina rig. I mean, I may mix in a topwater or something, but I think going into day 1 of the tournament, my mindset is just to keep those baits in my hand, keep them wet, make a lot of casts, and just stay ultra focused, fish hard, and that's really all you can do. You know, it takes a little bit to figure out how your boater is going to fish. You know, the night before the tournament, Major League Fishing sends you a text and it notifies you of who you're fishing with the next day. And typically you have a good conversation. You know, it's short, but you try to get a little bit of an idea of what you're going to do the next day. But until you actually get out on the water, you don't know how that person's fishing. You don't know what speed they fish. You know, are they jumping around hitting a lot of spots? The angles that they're using. You know, are they live scoping, or are they spot locking and really soaking an area? So until you get out there on the water, you really don't exactly know how the day is going to shake out. And it typically takes an hour or two to figure out the pace of things. So we got to keep an open mind, got to stay positive. And I'm excited. You know, this is something I've worked on all year. My goal is to make the All-American. So the only way you can make the All-American is to make day 3. So day 1 is very important. I got to catch a good limit of fish. I mean, I just got to keep myself in contention. I got to keep myself in the game, and that's the plan. That's the plan. So we will have day 1 video coming very soon. Thanks to everybody who's followed along on this adventure, and a subscribe will be greatly appreciated, and a thumbs up if you are appreciating the content. Until next time.